Halo Oketam, Bula Vinaka. Welcome to the One Talk podcast, the official podcast for the OneFire Music Festival. Here I'll be talking to some of our Indigenous artists about their stories behind all their music and their cultural root that keeps our Oceania music and languages alive. My name is Elsie, and I want to welcome you to this Talanoa about music, art, and culture. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the One Talk podcast, the official podcast for OneFire Music Festival. I'm your host, Elsie, and today I am so honored and lucky to be joined by the one and only Khaled, musician and artist from Papua New Guinea, one of our biggest islands in the Pacific. And he will be here to have a chat to us, have a little talanoa about music, culture, and all the stuff that makes Khaled who he is. So welcome, Khaled. Welcome, welcome. And I'll get you to introduce yourself, where in PNG you're from, and a little bit about what you want us to know about you. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Elsie. Thanks for having me on this podcast. So artist name is Khalidi, stage name. My name is Dion. Um, Dion combines my government name, per se. I do music kind of like part-time. I have a daytime job, but I guess what is that? I'm from New Island, Central, and Morobe. So I'm from the
Mhm.
three regions of PNG. Um, By day, I am a cinematographer. By night, and after hours, I'm a musician and an artist. So yeah, that's pretty much the blurb of
Nice.
who I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. That's pretty good to know that you also do extra stuff, on the side outside of
Yeah.
music. And you're from three big places in PNG, New Island, Central, and Morro Bay. My first question, I guess I just want to ask about how these places influence your sound and the stories that you put through your music.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'm from three different regions,
Mm.
and I guess the type of music and then the culture is very different between all three.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, especially when it comes to time for traditional performances during independence, it was really difficult trying to figure out which place I'm going to represent. But I guess being from those places, my parents did a really good job of raising us in all three, visiting and knowing all our relatives and knowing of the culture. I wish I spoke some of a language that I'm from, but I can only speak the basics, the bare basics, bare minimum. But yeah, it's had a really big influence on my sound and knowing the type of music that I grew up listening to from the Sing Sings, because I my some of my earliest memories of music is my grandmother singing songs that I still sing today, and I know them off by heart, and it's all those like little chants and stuff that you grow up with, and it still has like such an importance, especially in my taste of music. It's still very what's the word? It's still I feel that it still has like a lot of truth in it, and then I try to emulate that because as I started growing older and traveling, that's when I realized that I like the different types of music probably out in the world, and then trying to infuse that back with having a bit of um a flavor of PNG into it. And then I like honestly, I wish I could speak a language because I love singing songs in languages. So like that's what my cousins usually help me like with lyrics and stuff like that. But yeah, just having those experiences growing up with my grandparents and listening to music, and because music's such a big part of our Melanesian culture.
For sure. Yes,
Every
yes.
every celebration you go to, there's music for
Yeah.
everything from deaths,
Mm,
there's music, people singing. So just being
mm.
surrounded by all of that has really, without realizing, it's really shaped the type of music and that I listen to and I like to be a part of.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I really like how you spoke about music, not just in your own personal like what you like, but also all these influences, especially your grandma. I think the early days, and like when we're younger, the things that we remember from then is usually the things that are sounding, music. And
That's
That's
it.
it's very nice that you still remember that. I can relate to that as well. Like a lot of
Yeah.
music that I remember is from my grandma, and
Yeah.
that's so beautiful that we have that concept of family and how much that's influenced the art that we make today and the art that we put out to the world. I just want to say, is there any other? Because I know PNG has a very unique music type. Like if you listen to a
Mm.
PNG song, you can tell it's from PNG.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to know if you had any inspiration or any of your
Yeah.
early musicians and PNG that has shaped your current creative process, I guess, or your style of music.
Mhm. Yeah, so growing up, my parents, I was involved in the church a lot. I grew up
Mm,
right through the church from as early as I can remember. And that's where I kind of met music was through church.
mm,
And my family's still a big part of that. My family's a very musical family as well. My dad sings, and my sisters also, because I only have sisters, so they all sing. And yeah, I think growing up, it was a lot of the gospel influence that I grew up around and I knew. So listening to a lot of that, and then when I started getting older, like because I had an older sister, it was her music taste that kind of like influenced my type of music.
Oh
So I
yeah.
listened to like a lot of the music that she listened to.
Mm,
So that was towards the early 2000s sort of sound. So,
mm.
but then when I remember growing up, the biggest artist that I could remember was Ocean for me.
Oh, yes.
Ocean's like because I was gravitating towards the whole hip hop sort of sound when I was really young, and
Yeah.
then when I heard people like Ocean, Strucky, these are some of the early PNG artists, not early, but some of the artists who broke into that pop
Mm,
R&B reggae sort of sound. That's when I was just like, whoa, PNG music can get into that. So a lot of my PNG music influence
mm.
was heavily around Ocean, Strachey. There's a group also by the name of I forget what they're called. I can sing. I'm like humming their song.
It's right there. It's right there.
Houseboy as well.
Houseboy.
Yeah,
Yes, they
Houseboy.
sing
Yeah,
Melanesia. Is that correct?
yeah.
That
That's them.
Melanesia
That's them.
song. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
such
then
a good throwback. Such
yeah,
a good
right. And then
throwback.
like listening to them, you get to like also hear a lot of the other artists as well
Mm,
that came before them. So like the likes of Sanguma, all of those,
mm.
I guess OG musicians as well. But I
Yeah.
guess for me, because of the type of music I like, when I heard PNG musicians actually doing that, that's when it really like sparked and ignited. Like, whoa, if they can do music like that, maybe that's something that I was really interested in.
Wow, that's so nice. I just I really enjoy the way you talk and enjoy hearing about how you bring in these musicians.
Mm.
Obviously these PNG musicians are pretty big in the Pacific. Like I remember at my
Yeah,
time, I was little as well, but those
yeah.
would play on the TV from CHM Super Sound. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. The same,
Really,
same at home as well.
CHM, yes, it was huge, and that's where all of the music was pushed out. And
Hmm.
like people would play it and you just know instantly that it's from PNG. So that's so nice, Khalid. It's so good to hear all the people that have inspired you and the people that
Mm.
you listened to growing up. We can really hear your music has a very unique ring to its own as well. What do
Yeah.
you think? What do you think you want people to hear when they listen to PNG music? Is it more just for the sounds, or what sort of message, or what is it that you want people to feel and hear when they listen to PNG music?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I feel that PNG music, especially now, it's really evolved. Like before,
Mm,
it was such a distinct sound, where now it's broken something that's really eclectic that everybody can listen to. There are a lot of different
mm.
people who are producing different things. But I think Papua New Guineans, through their music, are really good storytellers.
Yes.
There are some people who really tell stories of their experiences, but like we call it Sing Sing Tumbuna, who they talk about like their ancestors, and that's how
Mm,
like our stories are passed down through music. And I'm sure a lot of Melanesian cultures is the same
for
thing.
sure.
But if you listen to a lot of PNG music, like that's why I respect so many artists like in that are out today in PNG, in the likes of like Tonton Malele,
Mm,
um, Junior Vigilance, like all of these artists, their style stems from their origin, and it sounds
Mm.
really cool. And a lot of the stories that they tell through their music are very interesting, and they hold a lot of they hold a lot of the essence of the music that they were probably brought up with as well. So I think PNG
Mm.
music is really good at storytelling, one, and I guess just hearing like a lot of stories, because a lot of PNG songsters are sung about our places, and they get
Yeah.
to tell a story about our place and be proud of why we're from that place. So I reckon that's one of the best things about that I really enjoy about PNG music is you
Mm.
probably have an imagination of the place from the lyrics that you hear about some of the songs. So I reckon that's a really cool thing about PNG music as well.
Yes, definitely. And I spoke with One Talks last week, and
Awesome.
it was, around the same thing. Like music is such a uniting thing for us Pacific and Melanesians. Like you will
Oh,
be somewhere, say you're somewhere in the world where you're by yourself, and then you
yeah,
hear the sound of music and you hear the sound of home, the dialects and the languages that are shared in music, and you feel at home, eh? So it's
100%.
yeah, it's such a powerful thing. For
Yeah.
you, what do you how important is for you to weave that national identity into your music? Because I know you already do it, even if you have, influences with modern day music, you still have that
Yeah.
rhythm and the sounds of your identity. How important is that for you?
I reckon it's so important because like no matter where I go, Papua Guinea is ingrained in in my blood, being Melanesian, being Pacifica. So I think it's so important because I could make a song that sounds completely, I guess, different sounding, but then you know at in your heart that like, oh, it's not a complete puzzle until you add something that really sounds like home. So
Yes.
whether it's just like a cone shell somewhere in the background or some flute sounds, this is something that you probably I feel that needs to be added in because my music's, I guess, very modern in a sense. Like
Mm,
we try to follow the trends that people listen to, like Afro and all of that, but then adding little bits and pieces that make it uniquely mine. So I think that's so important that, like, especially with my music, being able to leave that imprint of being Papua New Guinean so that like when someone else hears a song, they'll be like, oh wait, I think this guy is from PNG because of a certain either music sound or lyric in it. That's why I like
mm.
throwing a bit of Tokpisin in there. But I wish I could speak another language. But
You can always do
yeah, honestly,
it.
if
There's
I
time.
could, honestly, all my songs will be in another language because I just love the way like having that authenticity of having your language. And I
Yeah.
think like because if you say something in your language, it you like I say, you feel it a little bit more different. Like if you hear a song in Tokpisin and then you
Mm.
try to translate it to English, it doesn't have the same sort of
Yeah.
like yeah, the same sort of emotion, but when you say it in the language. So I reckon that's a
Yeah.
really cool thing that maybe it isn't too late to learn
Yeah,
a
never
language
too
and then
late.
include
Never too late.
that.
And like you said, like
Yeah,
there's a really special thing about having languages and like being able to share that in your music. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. I want to backtrack a little bit because I
sure.
read somewhere, I think I watched one of your interviews, but I did read that you learned how to play the guitar. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you also
Yes.
wrote songs back in high school.
Yes.
Is that something
Yeah.
that's true? It's somewhere there in the internet. So I want to hear more about that. Like, how did you decide to write your own songs? Was it like, do you come up with the rhythms first, or you kind of just put words down and then, yeah, just talk us through that, how you started writing songs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting because yeah, when I started music, I think I started with like poems and understanding how
Mm,
poems worked. And then I think I started because I started playing guitar when I was in like year eight.
mm,
And then when I moved towards like year 10 and year 11, that's when I started fusing it. Actually, you know what actually I began writing from was High School Musical and Camp Rock.
amazing.
So I saw how they used the melodies and the songs, and I was really drawn to that. So I thought that I'd
Mm,
give that a shot. And then that's when I started piecing it. So as early as I can remember when I started working on music, it wasn't like oh, you have to do lyrics first or music first. Sometimes
Mm.
there's a melody that I'd be just sitting on the way home and I hear a melody in my head and I'm like, oh, and then I know that it's something special when it doesn't go away and I'm still thinking of the same melody.
Yes.
So yeah, so the writing and learning, playing the guitar was so important for me to learning how to write and piece music together. So like some of my earliest memories of making music are just sitting down on the balcony of the house, watching the sunset and just like messing out. So I was still learning how to play the guitar. So it was really cool in a sense where I was still trying to learn and then writing as well, just putting down random lyrics. I wouldn't say
Mm.
they were lyrics, they were kind of like poems back then because
Yeah.
I just tried to get words that sounded nice together, sentences, and then that's probably how I started writing songs. Yeah, probably like
Mm.
yeah, the earliest songs that I can remember.
Do you still remember any of them?
Oh, I still remember, like honestly, like they're all like now that you like I'm now that I'm talking about it, I guess I
Yeah.
remember. I think like the earliest one was like Music Two Hearts. Like those are very because of it was all very influenced by the High School Musical and Camp
Mm.
Rock and that sort of thing, because that was so big at that time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where um, the interest in writing original
Mm.
music came from. And then, yeah, once I started going there, you get to meet really cool people who produce music, and then the
Mm.
rest was history, literally.
Amazing. So good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm sure our viewers and people might not really know about that side of LED. So thank you for letting us know. Um, I want to talk a little bit more about you coming from those three different places in PNG.
Yeah,
When you make music, do you feel the pressure you did mention you feel the pressure to represent them, like when you're performing in that. But how do you work around that for your music? And when you're introducing yourself, do you always carry all three, or do you feel more closer to one than the other? How does that work for you?
I think yeah, that's a really good question, but I think just being able to be like a fully united Papua New Guinea,
Yeah.
that's probably what I always say. Like I always say that I'm a Papua New Guinean first before I am from those three regions. But I still hold them very close to my heart, each of the provinces. And I wouldn't say that one probably gets a little bit more representation than the other.
Mm,
Um, I guess the sounds from it, it's really cool because I get to say that that's my type of music because it's from like a certain region and I'm lucky because I'm from three different regions. So not that
yeah.
I can pick and choose, but I have a bit of variety to kind of fall back on. It's like,
Mm,
oh, I know that there's this sort of beat that I hear that my uncles used to play. And then I'll be like, oh, and then I was like, oh, and then there's this chant that these people were using the last time I heard them from where I'm from. So that's what I get to kind of pick and choose, but there's never one time where I'm like, oh, I really want to just stick to this or that. It's I just try to remain very, and I guess I don't try to let that limit me in
mm,
a sense where I because I'm Papua New Guinean, I can use pretty much everything because I'm a Papua New Guinean first before I am from New Ireland, Morobay and Central. So yeah, I
mm,
guess that's the luxury of being from three different provinces, but yeah, that's the
definitely.
cool thing about it, just being able
Mm,
to use the sounds that are there. And I guess working with different artists as well gives you that freedom to be like pick and choose, like, oh, can I use that from yours? And then everyone's so open to it. They're like, yeah, go ahead, sort
mm.
of thing.
That's amazing. Nice. That's so good. And do you have any plans or sort of visions of uplifting, I guess, the next generation of Papua New Guinean musicians? Is there a
Yeah.
space that you are interested in, like working in and supporting? Or
Oh,
are you
definitely.
already doing that, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I'm really like passionate about is I guess being able to because the music scene isn't real, there's no real pathway into the music scene.
Mm,
You kind of just go for it and then you just do your best and then hope for the rest sort of thing. So I hope that there's an avenue which I can create I'm that I can probably mentor a lot of the younger artists just to help them with a little bit of a pathway because when I came through, I kind of got lucky in a sense where I was just putting music out. But now with social media, I reckon there's a real way for people to show off their body of work. But that is a space that I really want to get into. It's just working with and mentoring different artists in order to find that balance between making really good music and music that people like, because you have to be true to
Mm.
yourself, one, but then your music has to be like popular enough for it
Yeah,
to
that's so true.
for other people to like. Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Like, how do you
Hmm?
find balance, like, between making music that's authentic to you, but also sort of fitting to what's what people are used to hearing and what's like the popular culture? Yeah, do you find it
Yeah.
challenging in that space, or how is that for you?
Yeah, that's actually been quite challenging for me because I think if I had it my way, a lot of my music would be very acoustic based. I'm a big fan
Mm.
of country music, so I really like a lot of the country sounds. And then because it has like a direct link to R&B and country, I'm not sure if you noticed that, but that's where probably like my taste of music will be. But then
Mm.
again, in the space that we have our audiences, it's a little bit more. It's not as mainstream, circles of music. So I think it's just finding that real balance between music that you like and then you
Mm.
think will work out. But I guess at the end of the day, if you're just putting out music that you like and you're proud of and it's a really good body of work, you won't disappoint yourself. So you're just always just striving to make your music yours and then better as it goes. But there are times when you're like second guessing yourself, like, oh, I really like this song, but I'm not sure if people will like it. But I guess if you're just true to yourself and
Mm.
you're making music authentically that represents you, then I don't think that there's an issue there.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And now we're gonna fast track back to forward to OneFire Music Festival that's happening in
Yeah.
September. Have you performed in Fiji in the past years?
Yes, I performed in Fiji once. That was
Yes.
back in 2020, early 2020, just before
Ah,
COVID.
right.
So
It's been a long
yeah.
time coming, eh?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was in a venue. I forget what the venue's called, but yeah, back in Fiji. So I performed there once, and oh my
Mm.
goodness, what an experience! Fiji crowd's crazy.
It must be.
So
It
so
must have been
excited to that.
crazy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember my first performance I watched you live was at the All Nation Festival here in Auckland
Oh
in NZ,
yeah.
and that was a very, I'd say, electric performance,
Oh,
very strong, and the crowd just knew the song, like everybody sang the song. I think Ride My Lane was is a hit, like it's still a hit today. I still hear it, people play it everywhere. What are you excited about for September on One Fire Music Festival?
yeah, I think the really cool thing about being an artist and being able to tour is that you meet different artists.
Yeah.
Like you, as you mentioned at the All Nation Festival, I got to meet artists that honestly I would have never met if it wasn't for the festival. It's really cool because you get to hear their type of music. You probably have never heard of them until you go there. So I think the coolest thing for me is just meeting different artists and meeting different people and going to a different place and having a glimpse of their culture.
Mm.
And yeah, just sharing the love with everybody. And I guess meeting people who enjoy your music in a different place. That's a feeling that yeah, it never gets old. It's
Mm.
so cool to just go to a different place and then they're like, "Oh, we know your song," and you're just like, "That's so crazy!" Like
Yeah.
someone in another country that listens to your music. And
Mm.
yeah, just being able to listen to people, other artists, and meet and rub shoulders with them and have conversations. I think that's the part of one of the best parts of being a musician. So I'm so excited and I'm looking forward to just meeting the different people and yeah, sharing a bit of the Fijian culture and also sharing and waving that Melanesian flag and the Pacifica flag for everyone that enjoys it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Khalid. You've been amazing to talk to, and you have shared so much with us that we're truly grateful that you're able to share this space with us. And I'm sure Fiji is excited, the Pacific Melanesia is excited to have you at the One
Us.
Fire Music Festival in September. Um, I heard you said you do visuals and production outside of music, yeah? Well, if
Yeah.
someone hasn't like seen your videos or stage performances, what do you think they might be missing out on for like the full Kali D experience?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah. You just have to be there to see it.
You just have to be
No,
there.
I'm not giving too much away because you have to rock
No,
up to see it.
for
I keep
sure.
all
Do
the
you have a
secrets in the bag, but
do you
sorry.
have a song that you want everyone to learn before sorry, OneFire? A
Oh
song that you
yeah, I
want
wanted to.
everyone
I mean, if they haven't listened to Ride My Lane in a while, come on, get back on it. What are you
get
doing?
back.
Get it back on your playlist.
Yes,
But
for sure.
yeah, I dropped a new jam called "Stuck in My Head" with Tonton. So I really like that song, and I hope people enjoy that one too. So it'll be cool to interact and get people to sing along with on that song as well.
Oh, nice. Thank you. And we will definitely go check out Stuck in My Head by
Make
Tonton
sure you do.
and Khalid, yes. And we
Yeah.
can't wait to hear it live performed live in September. So thank you so much once again from me. I really appreciate your time, and we hope we had we hope we got some good chats from that to put in promo for OneFire. So thank you again, Khalid.
No
That's all
worries.
for
Thank
us
you so much
today.
for the opportunity, and you guys are awesome.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us in this episode where we had a chat with Khalidi from Papua New Guinea. Take care and see you on the next episode.